Couple of robbers probably felt pretty good after they made off with $1.1 million in cash.
Armored truck robbery in the Chicago suburbs. Our sister.
Two men are facing federal charges for robbing a Brinks truck in Homewood.
It was crazy. I ain't never seen that many SWAT teams and FBIs.
Imagine $1 million heist that seemed perfect. Two thieves just walked away with stacks of cash from an armored truck, feeling on top of the world. They were already counting their fortune and planning their getaway. But here's where things get interesting. Their foolproof plan had one tiny flaw. Hidden among all that money was something they never expected. Something that would turn their dream score into a nightmare in less than an hour. Want to know how modern technology brought these criminals down? Stick around as we unpack this incredible true story that proves, sometimes, the smallest things can have the biggest impact. The perfect score, setting the stage. It's a quiet Tuesday morning outside a suburban grocery store in Chicago Heights, Illinois. The sun's barely up, and most folks are still sipping their first coffee of the day. But for our two ambitious thieves, this isn't just another morning. It's the day they plan to pull off the score of a lifetime. These aren't your typical criminals. They're ambitious, and they've got their eyes on a prize most wouldn't dare to touch. An armored truck carrying over $1 million in cash. They've spent weeks studying routines and memorizing schedules. Now, it's showtime. As the clock ticks towards 8:20 a.m., tension builds. The Brinks armored truck rumbles into the parking lot right on schedule. It's a hulking beast of a vehicle, designed to keep its precious cargo safe from people exactly like our would-be thieves. But they're confident they've found a weakness in the armor. The scene unfolds like a perfectly choreographed dance. Busy shoppers stream in and out of the store, carts laden with groceries. The two Brinks guards, alert but not overly concerned, begin their routine. It's a day like any other for them, until it isn't. One guard heads into the store, leaving his partner alone with the truck. This is the moment they've been waiting for. Hearts pounding, palms sweating, they know the next few minutes will determine their fate. One thief makes his move, approaching the lone guard from behind. He's calm, collected, every step calculated. The guard doesn't see him coming. In a flash, he strikes. There's a brief struggle, but it's over almost as quickly as it began. The guard is overpowered, and suddenly the impenetrable fortress of the armored truck is breached. The second thief joins in, and together they work with lightning speed. Bags of cash are grabbed, bins are filled. In less than a minute, they've snatched over $1 million. As they slam the doors of their getaway car and peel out of the parking lot, adrenaline courses through their veins. They've done it. The perfect score. $1 million payday. But little do they know, their perfect crime is about to unravel in a way they never could have imagined. Hidden among the stacks of bills they've just stolen is a tiny device that's about to turn their dream heist into a nightmare. The clock is ticking, and the chase is about to begin. The heist, $1 million mistake. 7 bins, 10 bags, and 60 seconds that would change everything. In the world of high-stakes heists, success often comes down to moments. For Davis and Singleton, it took just a minute to grab their fortune, but how long would it take for their dream to crumble? As the armored truck guard lay subdued, the duo sprang into action. Their movements were a blur of efficiency, honed by weeks of planning. Bin after bin was filled with stacks of bills, each one bringing them closer to their goal. The weight of the cash fueled their adrenaline, pushing them to move faster. Among the piles of green, a tiny Apple AirTag silently waited. Oblivious to this digital stowaway, the thieves continued their frantic grab. With the truck emptied, Davis and Singleton made their escape in a stolen Nissan Maxima. Their hearts raced as fast as the car, the thrill of success coursing through their veins. But they knew better than to rest easy. A short distance away, they transferred their haul into a black Jeep owned by Davis. The Nissan was abandoned, left as a false lead. As they drove towards a residential address in Calumet Park, a sense of elation washed over them. They'd done it. The quiet streets gave way to the promise of freedom. In their minds, they were home free. Little did they know, their celebration was premature. The AirTag, nestled among their stolen fortune, was already at work. It connected to nearby iPhones, broadcasting its location to Apple's Find My network. With each passing minute, it left a digital breadcrumb trail leading straight to the unsuspecting thieves. At their hideout, Davis and Singleton finally had a chance to count their score. Bag by bag, they tallied up their haul. The final count left them giddy with excitement. It was more than they'd dared hope for. But as they reveled in their newfound wealth, planning how they'd spend it, a clock was ticking. The tiny AirTag continued its silent betrayal. While the thieves celebrated, this miniature marvel of modern technology was already setting the stage for their downfall. The chase begins. FBI's high-tech hunt. In the high-stakes world of modern crime, sometimes the smallest devices can tip the scales of justice. As Davis and Singleton reveled in their million-dollar score, they had no idea that a tiny piece of technology was about to shatter their illusion of success. The FBI jumped on the case immediately after the robbery, but at first they were faced with a daunting challenge. An armored truck hit in broad daylight, with the perpetrators seemingly vanishing into thin air. It was a puzzle that seemed impossible to solve, but then came the moment that changed everything. During a meeting between FBI agents and Brink's security officers, someone dropped a bombshell. There was an Apple AirTag hidden among the stolen cash. Suddenly, the investigation shifted into high gear. The FBI technicians raced against time to tap into the AirTag's signal, knowing that every second counted. The thieves could discover the device at any moment, slamming shut the window of opportunity. As the Apple AirTag's signal pinged across the city, a clearer picture began to form. The FBI's high-tech hunt was zeroing in on its target. Agents meticulously cross-referenced the AirTag's location with witness statements and traffic cam footage, tracking the path of a black Jeep spotted fleeing the scene. Every frame, every turn, brought them closer to their quarry. The signal led them to a residential area in Calumet Park, but pinpointing the exact house required a blend of cutting-edge technology and old-school detective work. In a testament to the power of modern crime-fighting tools, it took the FBI less than an hour to identify the exact hideout where Davis and Singleton were holed up. As FBI agents surrounded the house, the reality of the situation began to sink in for our would-be master criminals. Their meticulously planned heist was about to unravel spectacularly. In the digital age, even a coin-sized tracker can bring down a $1 million scheme, proving that in the world of 21st century crime, there's no such thing as a perfect getaway. The walls close in, a house of secrets. Imagine thinking you've pulled off the perfect crime, only to find yourself trapped in a house with nowhere to run. For Davis and Singleton, their suburban hideout was about to become a treasure hunt, with them as the unwilling guides. What would the FBI uncover as they peeled back the layers of this ordinary-looking home? The quiet neighborhood was suddenly alive with activity as FBI agents swarmed around the nondescript house. Neighbors peered out their windows, wondering what could possibly warrant such a response. Behind those walls lay over $1 million in stolen cash. Tension mounted as agents, weapons drawn, surrounded the property. Their voices cut through the air, demanding everyone inside to come out with their hands up. It was a moment of truth for the occupants. Surrender, or face the consequences. Slowly, the front door opened. Out stepped Devontae Davis, his girlfriend, and another man, their hands raised in reluctant surrender. But something wasn't right. The FBI knew there should be 4 people, not 3. Where was Daryl Singleton? As agents cautiously entered the house, their hearts pounded with each step. Room by room, they searched, until they climbed to the attic. There, crouched in a dusty space, they found Singleton, with a loaded handgun nearby. The standoff was brief, but intense. Outnumbered and outgunned, Singleton had no choice but to give himself up. But the FBI's work was far from over. Where was the money? Agents meticulously combed through the house, their persistence paying off in unexpected places. In the basement, behind a false ceiling panel, they discovered stacks of cash. More bundles were found tucked away under the attic insulation. As agents hauled out bag after bag of money, the full extent of the heist became clear. Hundreds of thousands of dollars neatly hidden away, waiting for a day that would never come. The tiny tracker that had led them to the suburban treasure trove had done its job. But as the FBI catalogued their findings, they couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to this story. The money was accounted for, the suspects were in custody, yet something didn't add up. Little did they know, the biggest revelation was yet to come. One that would blow this case wide open and expose a criminal enterprise far larger than they'd imagined. The Unraveling. Confessions and Revelations. With the suspects in custody and the money recovered, the FBI's attention turned to the interrogation room. Agents decided to question Devontae Davis and Daryl Singleton separately, hoping to exploit any weaknesses in their alliance. As the hours ticked by, the pressure mounted. Singleton cracked first. He started talking, providing a detailed account of the robbery that left no doubt about his involvement. In a shocking twist, Singleton also implicated Davis as his partner in the crime. Davis, in another room, initially claimed complete innocence. He insisted he had been at the Calumet Park home all day. But as the interrogation wore on and the evidence mounted, Davis's story began to shift. He eventually admitted to meeting Singleton after the robbery and hiding the stolen money. Witness statements played a crucial role in corroborating the confessions. One bystander recalled seeing a man matching Singleton's description approach the armored truck guard. Another remembered a black Jeep speeding away from the area shortly after the robbery. These small details helped the FBI construct a complete picture of the crime. As the full extent of their actions came to light, it became clear that this wasn't a simple heist. Davis and Singleton had pulled off a sophisticated operation that netted them over $1 million. They had managed to overpower armed guards, make off with a fortune, and very nearly get away with it all. But for one of these thieves, the daring armored truck robbery wasn't a first-time offense. As investigators dug deeper into Singleton's background, they uncovered a chilling secret that would reveal a criminal enterprise far more extensive than anyone had imagined. A criminal past uncovered. The Halloween Heist. Halloween 2022 marked a turning point in Daryl Singleton's criminal career. While the Homewood robbery had put him on the map, it was far from his first rodeo. As FBI agents dug deeper, they uncovered a shocking revelation. Singleton was already a wanted man for another armored truck robbery in Lansing, Illinois. The Halloween heist was a family affair, with Singleton, his brother Corey, and a juvenile accomplice targeting a Brinks security courier at an ATM. Armed and dangerous, they made off with over $1 million. It was a staggering amount that could have set them up for life if they hadn't been caught. But Singleton wasn't ready to give up his life of crime. While his accomplices were apprehended, he vanished, living as a fugitive for months. Perhaps it was the taste of success that gave him the confidence to attempt the Homewood robbery. As investigators connected the dots between the two heists, a clear pattern emerged. Singleton had a taste for high-stakes robberies, consistently targeting armored trucks and using firearms to intimidate. The full picture of his criminal career was finally coming into focus, revealing a man who had orchestrated $2 million heists in less than a year. But the story doesn't end there. As agents continued to unravel Singleton's past, they made an unexpected discovery. Hidden alongside the stolen money, they found items that hinted at an even larger criminal enterprise. What these items were, and what they revealed about Singleton's operation, would open up a whole new chapter in this unfolding saga. Just when it seemed like the case was wrapping up, the tiny AirTag that had brought down Singleton's Homewood heist was about to play an even bigger role. Its story wasn't over yet, and neither was Singleton's. A family affair. The Singletons. We know Daryl Singleton and his accomplice Devontae Davis, but as we hinted earlier, this AirTag bust was a break in a whole lot of other investigations. Daryl, Corey, and an Elijah Singleton, plus accomplices putting the total number of now exposed criminals to 10, have been implicated in a total of 11 robberies. Between October 31st, 2022 and November 17th, 2023, this jolly band of robbers brought home a haul of at least $3,815,964, this all from heists similar to the latest, robbing armored trucks carrying cash when they knew they were vulnerable, at stops at ATMs and the like, to move their precious cargo. Indeed, if Brinks hadn't added this preemptive measure of a tracking device to their hauls that they knew were being targeted, the Singletons and friends may have evaded justice and accumulated wealth for much, much longer. The AirTag Revolution, a new era of crime fighting. The AirTag that brought down Davis and Singleton's audacious heist has opened up a new frontier in crime fighting. This tiny tracker, originally designed for everyday convenience, is now reshaping how law enforcement operates. Imagine a world where vulnerable items leave invisible trails, turning cold cases into hot pursuits with a device that costs less than $30. But this newfound power comes with serious concerns. Privacy advocates worry about potential abuse. What's to stop someone from secretly tracking your movements? While Apple has implemented safeguards, the debate continues about their effectiveness. The implications of this technology are far-reaching. Some experts hail it as a revolutionary tool for asset protection, while others warn of a slippery slope towards a surveillance state. As one security analyst puts it, quote, "We're entering uncharted territory, where the line between protection and invasion of privacy is increasingly blurred," end quote. Early reports suggest that items protected by tracking devices are recovered at a significantly higher rate than those without. Some insurance companies are even considering offering discounts for customers who use trackers on high-value items. Perhaps the most profound impact is psychological. The mere possibility of an item being tracked is changing criminal behavior, adding an element of uncertainty to every theft. Criminals are learning the hard way that in today's world, even the most meticulously planned heist can be undone by a device smaller than a quarter. As we embrace this powerful new tool, we must grapple with its implications. In our quest for security, what price are we willing to pay? And in this brave new world of constant connectivity, is true privacy becoming a thing of the past? The AirTag revolution is here, and it's forcing us to confront these challenging questions head-on. Conclusion. In our interconnected world, even the most carefully planned crimes can unravel thanks to technology. The Davis and Singleton case shows us how a tiny device can make a huge difference in solving complex crimes. But as we embrace these powerful tools, we're faced with new challenges. The line between security and surveillance is getting blurrier by the day. We're having to rethink what justice means in the digital age. How do we balance the need for safety with our right to privacy? It's a question that doesn't have easy answers, but one we need to grapple with as technology continues to advance. As we move forward, it's clear that technology will play an increasingly important role in crime prevention and solving. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. The same tools that help catch criminals could potentially be misused. It's up to us to stay vigilant and ensure that our pursuit of justice doesn't come at the cost of our fundamental freedoms.